I exposed my stepfather at my mom's 60th birthday. Am I the bad guy for exposing my stepfather's darkest secrets at my mother's milestone birthday party? To give you some context, my mother spent months planning her 60th birthday dinner at a luxury restaurant with family flying in from 3 states. I almost didn't attend because of the deep psychological trauma my stepfather inflicted on me when I was 15, but my sister literally begged me to go for our mother's sake, saying it would mean the world to her. The evening seemed normal at first, filled with awkward small talk with relatives I hadn't seen since I moved away for college 8 long years ago. My stepfather kept trying to make tense eye contact with me across the table, but I just kept looking down at my phone, trying to survive the night. Then the speeches started. My aunt went first, praising my stepfather for stepping up to raise us after our biological father tragically passed away when I was 13. I felt physically sick to my stomach, but I kept my mouth shut. But then, my stepfather stood up, clearly intoxicated, raised his glass and toasted to the most forgiving woman he knows, arrogantly claiming that some people just love to hold lifelong grudges and make up fake stories for attention. He looked directly into my eyes while my mother smiled blindly and nodded along. That was the exact split second I snapped. The rage just took over. I stood up in front of all 40 guests and revealed the absolute horrific truth of what he did to me when I was a vulnerable teenager. The entire room fell into a suffocating, dead silence. You could hear a pin drop. My mother immediately burst into tears, screaming at me and accusing me of ruining her special night with malicious lies. Now, half of my extended family thinks I'm an absolute monster for causing such a public scene, but I couldn't sit there and let his disgusting lie stand. Speaking of toxic family members who choose to twist reality to suit their own narratives, wait until you hear what my own father tried to pull off on my wedding day. The moment I told my dad he wasn't welcome at my wedding, am I wrong for banning my own father from walking me down the aisle after he failed to show up for me for years? For 6 long years, my dad never made a single real effort or decision to be a part of my life. Every single time he was supposed to see me, visit me, or support me during major milestones, he always had a convenient excuse lined up: uncontrollable weather conditions, unavoidable financial traps, or sudden tragic circumstances. And for the longest time, I was the one foolish person he could always count on to understand, validate, and unconditionally forgive him. But eventually, the emotional exhaustion caught up with me, and I completely stopped expecting him to show up. When I got engaged, I decided to ask my uncle to walk me down the aisle instead, since he was the one who actually stepped up and raised me through thick and thin. When my biological dad found out through Facebook, he went completely ballistic. He started calling my phone repeatedly, leaving aggressive voicemails and begging for his quote-unquote rightful place at my wedding. When I finally answered, I told him straight to his face that a father isn't defined by a single high-profile event, but by showing up every single day in the dark, and that he had forfeited that right years ago. Now he's playing the ultimate victim to our entire extended family, making me look like a heartless, ungrateful daughter. Dealing with people who feel entitled to your life choices and milestones is exhausting, which is exactly what happened when an entitled coworker tried to steal my hard-earned vacation. Am I for refusing to swap vacation days for a coworker's wedding? Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my vacation days to a coworker who already lied to the entire office about it? 8 full months ago, I booked 3 critical vacation days for a holiday weekend to celebrate my grandparents' landmark 50th wedding anniversary with my entire extended family. Everything was fully paid for, flights were locked in, and hotel reservations were confirmed. Last week, a coworker suddenly discovered their sibling was getting married on that exact same holiday weekend and asked if I would swap my approved days off. I politely apologized and thoroughly explained that I couldn't change my plans because my entire family had already coordinated around me being there. Instead of accepting it like an adult, they went completely behind my back and toxically told everyone in our department that I had happily agreed to switch. Now, I'm facing immense, unbearable peer pressure at work, with multiple coworkers calling me selfish, leaving passive-aggressive notes on my desk and saying that weddings always take priority over anniversaries. I feel bad about the terrible timing, but I refuse to let someone manipulate me into giving up plans I made nearly a year ago just because they made an arrogant assumption. But if you think dealing with toxic peer pressure from a lying coworker is frustrating, wait until you hear how my own in-laws tried to force me into a dangerous situation with a total stranger. AITA for refusing to leave my toddlers with an unknown babysitter? Am I the bad guy for refusing to attend my brother-in-law's destination wedding after my mother-in-law tried to force me to leave my toddlers with a complete stranger? My husband and I have 2 beautiful kids, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Later this year, his brother is getting married around the holidays, and it's a massive destination wedding for our entire family. The massive catch, it's completely child-free. Because of this, literally every single relative with young kids decided to either stay home entirely or have one parent travel alone while the other stayed with the kids. When the wedding was first announced, my in-laws wanted us to rent a massive house and spend the entire Christmas holiday in the town where the wedding would be. My husband originally thought it was a great idea and wanted us to just stay inside the rental house during the actual wedding festivities, but after realizing how insane the logistics would be and seeing that absolutely nobody else with toddlers was bringing their spouse along, he agreed it was best for the family if I stayed home with our babies while he went alone. Even his own brother explicitly told him to just do whatever was best for his family. But then, things took a toxic turn. My in-laws recently went on a pre-wedding vacation with my brother-in-law and his fiance's family. The second they got back, my mother-in-law called me completely out of the blue to inform me that the fiance's family had graciously found a random local babysitter who could watch my kids while I attended the wedding. She brought up the house rental again, pressuring us and saying she wanted everyone together for Christmas. Because of this sudden pressure, my husband is completely waffling back and forth, subtly implying that it's asshole-ish of me if I don't go. To make matters even more complicated, the bride-to-be is now under the absolute impression that I am attending, and our RSVP deadline is at the end of the month. I told my husband straight up that I refuse to put our toddlers through a grueling 8-hour car ride or a chaotic flight, and more importantly, I absolutely do not trust a complete stranger to watch our children, especially our 1-year-old baby. I feel like my boundaries are completely valid, but my in-laws are making it seem like they went above and beyond to accommodate us. I honestly do not want to go, but I don't want to permanently ruin my relationship with his family. What do you think? Am I being an unreasonable mom, or are my in-laws completely crossing the line by demanding I trust a stranger with my kids? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more daily family drama.